shouldn't be talking shit, huh? His name is Christopher Chulak.
We
really
talk shit all the time.
All day.
all day.
Right.
Yeah.
We're code switching.
Indeed.
We're not there yet, but if Donald Trump wins, it's gonna be some Trujillo shit, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you might see some Trujillo shit. Yeah.
This is the Code Switching podcast, which is the safe space for problematic people of color to hang out during the Trump presidency. She's on the Code Switching podcast. She's so problematic.
I'm like, I love shaking shit up. Keep telling me that.
That's a pretty interesting
way to put it.
Yeah.
But is that
It
not
was code switching.
exactly what happened?
Wow.
Right, specifically from those of us that are from the streets, from the hood, but also have our education, that have that combination. It's our duty as those warriors to start changing the language and changing the narrative.
And then they whoop your ass for telling the truth, but don't lie.
Well, I kind of like it because I think that it forces you to code switch.
One with the force is forces with me, and one with the force is forces with me, and one with the force. Yes.
My shirt is pink.
Yeah. We're here. This is Serge. This is Code Switching. We're here with Deborah, my sister, and Cinthia. Well,
Who's
Hello.
my sister?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the sister episode.
Sister. That's what we should call it. Sister.
We're all like half an hour late today.
We are.
It's okay.
We are.
Why are we late?
Why am I late?
Yeah, I'll talk about my pin. This is the this is one of like, I don't know, maybe 100 of these that they made. This is the ticket to get into the Star Wars premiere.
Oh shit. Yo, I swore
night
that was
before.
like the games Hunger Games pin or something. I was secretly judging you.
No, it's the Rebel Alliance. I saw Rogue One
Something like
3
that.
times in 4 days.
Is it really that good?
It's that good.
Is it better than the other one with the Black Jedi?
The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
He's not a Jedi.
It's better. It's
He's
better
gonna
than
be a
Force
Jedi.
Awakens.
There's like a lot of like hints that he may be a Jedi.
I think he might be Finn. He might be
Yeah.
a Jedi.
What?
And if you see in the beginning, Kylo Ren sensed him like in the Force, and he said there's an awakening, and he looks right
He
at.
sensed them because didn't he have the lightsaber?
Not at that time. I'm talking about the opening shot in the beginning.
No, he
'Cause
sensed his goodness.
Get closer to the.
Was it his
Like-
goodness,
Yes, he
or
sensed
was
his
it the
goodness.
midichlorians in his blood?
I have
He
no
didn't.
idea
He
what
didn't.
any of this
He didn't
is, by the way.
shoot the group, and he sensed him that he was like hesitant.
But it was before he defied that order that he
I don't-
sensed that.
I don't know.
I'm hoping he's a Jedi.
Well, I think it's a twist because everyone's expecting Rey.
Luke, I am your father.
Rey is a
That's
Jedi,
all I know.
obviously.
No, she might not be a Jedi. She might not be anything.
She's supposed to be Palpatine's granddaughter.
Well, that's
Did you
a
know that?
rumor.
What?
Palpatine, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been reading the books, guys.
Did he have a
No, you
British
haven't.
accent?
I know.
You're such a liar.
I like to lie about things.
I've been reading the books. No, you haven't.
Yeah. So I mean, the twist is that people are saying that because everyone thinks Rey is a Jedi and Finn is just Black Stormtrooper. That it's the other way around, but he might be a Jedi or he might be Force sensitive, and Rey might be like. Well, then again, no, because she has
I
the
just
Force.
want him to
I'm
do
sorry.
space karate and
He
powers.
knows her.
Yeah, and she uses the Force in the movie.
I
so
still think they're
his
cousins.
was happening. I'm sober because Radhames didn't pour sangria in my cup, and I'm still so blown away by Rogue One. I forgot all about the Force Awakens. So I'm talking out of my ass right now. So if you're listening on iTunes right now and don't know about our live feeds, we're live from the public Facebook page at facebook.com/codeswitchin.
So what were you saying? A Jedi.
I don't want to talk about this
No,
anymore.
I'm just
because
saying
I
that
don't know
he was a
anything about
Jedi.
this.
Finn is a Jedi. That was my last thing.
You're a Jedi. You just dealt with
I don't think
2
so.
overdoses today. This is
Yo,
why you're late.
all right, nah, man. I dealt with 4. I can't give like specifics because I don't want to get fired. And currently,
What
this is
do you
how
do?
I work at a shelter.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
So I deal with a lot of fuckery.
It's a rough every day. Rough day.
What?
Every day.
Nice. Be nice.
No fuckery. It's fuckery. It's utter fuckery. What do you mean be nice? I can say some shit. But you know what I was mad at? I was like walking and there was this like, I guess he was a tourist because he was taking pictures of like a toy store.
Mm-hmm.
So either he's like mad creepy or like a tourist. Either way, I hate him. So fuck that guy.
So, tell us about your day, I guess.
Oh, my day. Well, I had to stop one guy from having a seizure and ODing. I had to stop another guy from getting brutally stabbed. This is in the morning.
You did that by
The
convincing
two
yourself
ODs
not
were,
to stab
like,
him?
at the end of the day. Oh no, and there was one almost stabbing later in the day. So
you wore that shirt to work?
I did. I wore this pink shirt.
It was white
look
at the
like you
beginning
work
of the
at a
day, but
business
that's how
center.
crazy it was.
No, man, that would be gross. Could you imagine? Jesus. If it was like white and then it ended up this way.
But nobody died.
Nah, there's one dude who you know, is probably dead. Yeah. But, you know, life goes on, dog, at least for me.
Yeah.
This is a men's only shelter?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
And the rest of y'all are late
We
to
have
the
to
grad
speak
school.
really loud because they still can't hear us.
Yeah, I'm just late because that's me.
We have to use our.
I'm late because I'm the showrunner and I did everything. I bought the tripod, I bought the cups, I brought the wine, I brought the equipment.
I fund this show, so
He funded the show. Yes, he did. That's true.
I didn't know I was going to be on the show.
Yeah, you did.
Now you
I
know.
really didn't. I was going to stop in for 15 minutes.
Nice. So tell Radhames, you've been talking about your sister like all year on the podcast.
I've been wanting to get my sister on the show for a while. We disagree on a lot of things, which is awesome. But the stuff that we do agree upon is like, you know, pretty dope. Like, what do we agree upon? The Illuminati?
Our political views are pretty succinct, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're a little bit too much for me. And you do call me a bleeding heart.
I call you a pussy, not a bleeding heart. That's not true.
Well, bleeding heart sounds better than that. And
a
we
cornel
have
twat.
very...
I call you that too.
Yes, you do. And we have very interesting, like, inside jokes and stuff. And things that we think are funny. A lot of people wouldn't.
Well, we have really dark humor, right? So
Yeah.
we make jokes about death all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and
I think that I think it's healthy because I think humor is a way of dealing with things in a manner that is not so it's not so confrontational.
I
You
tell a
can
lot
look
of
at
dead
it without
mama
looking
jokes. A
looking
lot
at
of
it
dead mama
directly.
jokes.
Yes. But moving on from that.
Your last name's Teharris.
Teharris, yes. So
But Radhames' last name is Tejada.
Yes.
And your husband's last name is?
Harris.
How did that work?
Okay. So I've been married now a year, and my husband and I we were engaged for I think 2 years before we got married, and right before we got engaged we had talked about that if we ever got married we would come up with our own last name. And the reason for that is there are both racial reasons and feminist reasons for that. So the racial ones are that his last name, Harris, for example, is a last name that he's African American, that some ancient old family at one point owned his family. And so the last name Harris was sort of adopted or put on his ancestors as property. And the same you can argue with my last name, even though the history is a little bit... There are differences in the history for Dominicans, but there are some similarities. And then the feminist perspective is that I didn't think that it was really us living up to our ideals of equality by me simply taking on his last name. So it was a way of us sort of breaking those chains and those ties that are part and parcel in everyone's life. And I had come up with other versions, so it's basically a mix of our last name. So he's Harris and I'm Tejada. And I had come up with a bunch of different versions. They were all pretty ugly. And one day he came up with the version we have now, which is Teharris. And so we have gone with that. And,
Nice.
and we love it because it really is a coming together of two people, two cultures. And, you know, it's like
Nice.
a nice...
And Radhames
story.
officiated the wedding, right?
He did officiate the wedding.
That was popping. I had a lot of fun doing that.
So we did a destination wedding, which I recommend for everyone because it's affordable and you don't have to. It can if you do it right, it can be more affordable than having it in the States. But more importantly, you can invite everybody you want because typically you're not paying per person, and only the people who are really closest to you are gonna make the investment to go. But it was a beautiful wedding. We had our closest family and friends there.
Our
And-
dad was there.
My father was there, which
We
is
hadn't
a big
been
deal.
together in the same room with that dude in like what 13, 14 years at that point.
Your biological
15.
father?
Yeah,
Oh,
her father
shit.
was
Yeah,
there,
our
and
father
I mean
was
we
there.
had
That makes
we
sense,
had
too.
seen him individually, but for the three of us to be in the same
Yeah,
room
yeah.
together, it's usually when we go to the Dominican Republic, we fly out separately. So that was nice to have
Away from the
him
mic.
walk me down the aisle, and
Hello.
Radhames officiated, which was also very nice because he lived with my husband and us for a few years.
No, not
And so he
TV.
really
I
saw
meant,
the
like,
relationship
Facebook Live.
flourish.
Your dad did?
No,
No,
Radhames.
I did. I lived with them for a while.
Oh, okay.
Like
yeah.
a year or two,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, after.
After
You don't know how to
college.
use
Just
Facebook Live?
like, yeah, probably about a year. No, like 2 years. Because I couch surfed for a while before I did that. And then I was like, all right, I have a sister. I'm going to take advantage of her. And then she ended up getting a boyfriend. I moved him in. And then I was like, she was like, you know how she said it too? She was like, hey, Junior, so I'm dating this guy and it's pretty serious. Do you mind if he moves in? But yo, his bags were already like there. I'm like,
That's not how.
that's exactly how it went down.
No.
Yes, and that's the PG version of how it went down. And I was like, yo, it's your fucking place. Like, I don't, But he ended up being like a dope dude, though.
That's a
the
good
first
mix.
boyfriend of hers I like ever liked.
And I had to marry that one, of course.
Yeah, I didn't like the rest of them at all.
Yeah, well, no, you're very protective of her, I noticed.
Well, I'm not I never worry about my sister per se. Like, 'cause you got a good head on your shoulder, and you're like.
I like to think so.
And I'm like, you're like way more capable of stabbing someone brutally than I am, more than I am. So I don't really worry about her too much. But it was rough though growing up with her because the constant comparisons. Because she's like way smarter, book wise.
Yeah, I know you rant and rave about her. Oh, this bitch is awesome. This bitch is great. I don't know if you're referring to Cinthia or Wendy or your mom.
Yeah,
But,
I
like-
say bitch a lot.
So you say that I'm awesome? Good.
I don't get gassed. Don't get gassed.
You
I
should.
I say you aight. He's
You say that I'm
he's blowing it out of proportion. She's aight.
How did Radhames end up this way, Cinthia?
So at a certain point, right around when he was 10 or 11, puberty
shit.
struck, and I was no longer able to whoop his ass. So that's why he is the way he is.
But she was a dick.
I used to whoop that ass on the regular.
Yo, why you like bringing that up, yo?
Because it's fun, because I can no longer do it. So I just like to remind you that at one point I could.
I got the destination wedding thing. I've got my first destination wedding in February. Is it your first, Deb?
It's also my first.
Where you guys
But
going?
our cousin is also going to be watching us very soon. So
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna say anything.
you shouldn't
Well, you-
talk too much.
Because you're like, oh, it's so affordable. Everybody else pays for everything.
We're going to Cancun.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really affordable.
Oh
to
shit,
your
I'm
guests.
going to Cancun too.
No, it's not affordable. It's affordable for you.
Yeah, your guests are dropping like $1,500 to $2,000, and that's
Per person.
per person. That's being, that's it can be more than that.
But
It's all inclusive.
If
Yeah.
anybody deserves it, it's our cousin because he's been very generous like his whole life. So this is like his one time he's making us pay for stuff. So we're
Aw.
very grateful, and it's
Yeah.
worth it. They're a great couple.
You guys are gonna have so much fun.
I hope so.
Like it's gonna be one of those few times where you're gonna have all this family and all these friends together in a beautiful place,
Yeah.
hanging out together. It's a great experience.
And you'll get super lit for like free. Well, not free. You paid for it.
We
but
paid
like,
for it.
Yeah.
But
Take
it's,
advantage
it's
of
5-star lit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's all inclusive, so you don't have to worry about you're not stressing about money while you're there.
I'm going to Cancun in March, which is
We're going middle of February.
End of February.
it's great. I like weddings. I like going to them. I'm going to another wedding next
I
week.
like filming them. That's how I make my money.
Angel's getting married next Friday.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm a groomsman in that wedding. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Is the reception open or?
I don't know if it's open, but I know
Don't crash
I'm
someone's
going.
wedding, Sergio.
Yeah, you should crash weddings. I like crashing. I was supposed to crash.
Don't hold the mic by the base.
Hold it here.
Don't hold it by the balls, Radhames.
Doesn't he have a thing?
Hold it by the shaft.
Yeah, hold it by the head, as close to the head as possible.
You guys are so nasty. I love it.
Grab
He's
it
never this
properly.
vulgar at home. Listening to his podcast is really traumatizing.
You are a crazy guy, Sergio. God, what the fuck?
You've made
happened?
me this way, Radhames.
I probably have.
So, what else can we discuss on this podcast? I read
I don't know.
something
What
that
was
was
the plan?
disturbing today,
What's up?
but it's a little
Everything?
bit political. I don't know.
Go for it.
So
This is the Codeswitchin podcast. This is a safe space for problematic people in anticipation of the Trump era.
Well,
I've been billing it that way.
so I just read an article that the EEOC lost a case against
What is the EEOC?
Oh, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or
That sounds like it affects me.
yeah, well, they're the people who make sure that you don't get discriminated at your job. That's their role. And so there was a woman who was hired to work in an office, and the offer was rescinded because of her dreadlocks. And so they set up a case, and basically the court stated, I don't remember.
That's racist. That's mine.
The court stated that the 14th Amendment didn't provide them with coverage because it only covers those characteristics that you cannot change. And because hair, even though it's culturally tied to African Americans, you can change hair, and therefore it doesn't provide them with coverage.
Racism.
What a loophole.
Exactly.
Because you can take out dread so easily.
Which is whack because they could have literally showed them the Daily Show episode where Jessica Williams showed the drill instructor that you could actually have quote-unquote black hair and not have it get in the way according to Army regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that, like, what about all these
and actually,
fuckboy haircuts that people have?
Yeah.
And
That too is also a problem.
They don't enforce that.
I don't know.
I mean, so I applied to grad school last year, and for the places that provided me with an interview, I didn't go with my hair like this.
Keep the cell phone away from
Sorry.
the cables, guys.
How'd you go?
I put my hair in a bun because I didn't want to miss out on an opportunity, because sometimes people see natural hair as a political statement. You know?
Oh, you had it like this?
No, I only wear my hair like this once I'm inside a place. So if I'm going for an interview, my hair is in a high bun.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that my hair can do this. And it's because I'm concerned about possibly being rejected or missing out on an offer because of my hair.
When I was in high school, I went to Mount St. Michael. So I want you guys to hear about how racist this fucking school was and why I hate it. So I had hair at that point, and I grew my hair. I was growing my hair out, and they would only stop guys that had like African American type hair. Like if your hair was coarse, or like if it wasn't silky and nice, you know, whatever, they would give you the hardest fucking time, which is essentially why I ended up wearing a wig throughout senior year. Honestly, to be honest, I wanted to get rid of my hair, but I don't like being told what to do. So I was like, fuck you, I'm going to wear a wig.
Was there a lace front?
Huh? What's lace front?
Those are the ones. Those are the fancy
Those
ones
are the ones
it
that have a
actually
net.
looks like
It's in your
hair.
scalp.
Yeah.
It was. It actually was. And when I went to the barber, the first time I had him shape up around it so that it had a permanent like.
So what, he took like tweezers and he like
No.
individually.
He cut around it. He did like a shape up
Of your wig.
of the wig the first time I wore it.
That's insane. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry that happened.
That you were dedicated to your
I
hair.
was dedicated to the proposition of fuck you, Mount St. Michael. I was dedicated to that. They were such dicks.
Yeah.
So you had to go through security guard, metal detector, and all that?
Nah, I didn't
No,
have to do that.
you don't really do that in high school. Catholic high school, at least.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Wait, so you had long straight hair
He
instead of
had
long curly hair?
So his hair texture is a little bit
More
like
portion
mine,
wise.
but so he had long braids that were
Okay.
almost shoulder length.
Mm-hmm.
And he refused to cut his hair. So in order to
That's true.
meet, because the regulation, if I'm not mistaken, was that your hair couldn't touch your collar,
It couldn't
right?
touch your collar, but
Yeah.
there were mad kids whose hair was like down to here, but they had like nice hair, and they were like, "Oh, why can't your hair just do that?" I'm like, genetics, man. Like, not enough white people rape, you know,
Your
my
ancestors.
ancestors, and you know, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty ignorant.
Yeah, fuck them. They don't believe in gravity either.
I feel I have an issue when people are constantly told to conform to these standards that are unrealistic, and they're just a form of control. You know, especially with high schoolers. Like, when else are you going to be able to walk around with pink or green hair or do crazy things and a bunch of piercings and that not affect your potential to make money? I think especially with teenagers, we need to be a little bit more lax with these rules on how they can and cannot dress. Like, when else can you, what other time in your life are you going to have this space?
Well, I don't know.
Retirement.
I read this book called As Man Thinketh by James Allen. And in the book, he talks about this concept of, like, the true you and, like, your spirit, your force, whatever. Like, if you are a certain kind of way that no matter how the world is, you're always going to kind of make it work around you. I mean, not that life is going to be easier on you, but you always find a way to, like...
Adapt.
Yeah, to adapt. Around. And I feel like that shit is very true for me. Like, a lot of places now don't allow, beards or... I've never had a problem, like, getting, like, employment. And I've had braids and I've had all this extra shit. But I always kind of way to make it work. But because I was like, okay, fine. I can't do it through finance or whatever, so I'm going into social services. And that's kind of how I ended up there because they don't,
They're a little bit more lax.
They're
than
mad
social
lax.
Services with
They're
attire.
mad lax.
I don't know. I just think it's a shame that we...
Well, the thing that if you watch the Daily Show episode, the in the military, if you're black and you have black hair, you have to either relax your hair and put it in a bun, or you basically have a short fro.
Which is, by the way, very damaging to your hair.
So
relax.
So now that you mentioned that,
and she demonstrated that it takes longer to fix up your hair that way than to actually get it done the natural way.
And keep it in braids.
Your Milka just said that dyeing your hair can ruin the environment, and then Wendy added to that, what about bleaching your skin like they do in Jamaica? By the way, they do that in the Dominican Republic and Haiti as well.
But they do that
all
everywhere.
over the Caribbean. That self-hate
in China and Japan, there are instances of folks bleaching their skin, and it's
really.
Yeah, there is a concept, and it's global. It's
a lot of weird
now.
shit in Japan.
But it's global, where anything that is akin to whiteness, the closer to whiteness you are, the better your opportunities are economically.
Go you, white people! God damn.
And even your ability to marry, and so folks can either stay woke, right, and actively fight against that, but that's a struggle. Or you can do all these crazy things that people do to try to fit into this ideal of beauty. So you bleach your skin, you relax your hair, you get a nose job. There are all these ridiculous things that people try to do to conform to this idea, and it's frustrating sometimes, but I also understand why people do that. So
yeah, like our other sister, who's half Haitian. When she was a kid, we were at, I think, Sesame Place or some shit, and I guess it was like really sunny out, whatever. And then she asked, "Oh, how come my eyes aren't pretty like you and Cinthia? How come my eyes are so dark?" And we were like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like,
don't you guys have brown eyes?
Yeah.
What do you think? Brown eyes are ugly? You're racist? God damn it, Sergio.
No, in the
self-hate is real.
sun, they can sometimes look a little hazelish.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
But it was just sad because we're talking about a toddler having this conversation.
Yeah, and it's just like a toddler already knew about already was being bombarded with like these racial perceptions of beauty.
There's plenty of they've done several studies where they've shown white kids and black kids, a white doll and a black doll, and they asked them questions like, who do you want to play with?
And who's bad?
Who's bad? Who looks most like you? And both white and black children said that the uglier doll was the black one, that the bad doll was the black one, and even after the African Americans' children identify with that doll. And we're talking about kids that are 5 and 6 years old. And so that, to me, it's evidence of how deep and entrenched these values are, and how we perpetrate them in certain colloquial phrases that we have. Like in Spanish, you'll say something like, someone has fine features referring to whiteness, and someone has ordinary features referring to blackness. Or we'll say things like
fino y ordinario.
Fino y ordinario, yep. Or we'll say someone has good hair referring to hair that's silky and straight, and we'll say someone has bad hair for hair that's coarser. And these ideas are already they're a part of our language. They're a part of how we communicate. I mean,
you say tú tienes que adelantar la raza.
Yeah, you have to further the race.
I feel like
progress the race.
I feel like that's a very Dominican thing.
Oh my God, Dominicans are so racist.
I think that Dominicans are, and obviously I'm making blanket statements, so by no means do I want am I speaking for the entire Dominican populace.
Clearly.
But I would say that in general, I would say that Dominicans have a really schizophrenic like relationship with race. Because on the one hand, we'll use nicknames like morenita as terms of endearment. And on the second, and then we'll turn right and trigenita, and then we'll turn right around and equate
Prieto.
blackness with negativity.
Dude, I was thinking about this because I don't often translate Spanish music to English for other people, but so much fucking Spanish music uses the term morenito, morenita, and so on and so on. I'm just like, how the fuck do you translate that? Because it is a term of affection in a lot of songs, but
If you,
then it's like,
there's almost no way of translating that into English
no
without
way
it
to do it
coming
properly.
offensive.
Like you could be, hey, blackie, like
That's
nah,
terrible.
you can't really
yeah,
say
I
that.
wouldn't even think. Yeah,
Certain
There's
things
no-
don't translate
before
properly.
Narcos, I wouldn't have even thought about using that. But
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I think that there's a movement now in the Dominican Republic to change that, but it's very slow progress.
But it's
because
there.
of
You know, it
history.
wasn't really there before because all we had before was Juan Luis Guerra, whose music I still love. And there's that part where he says, "Somos tres raza encendida, negra, blanca y taína." You know, it's dope.
Scooch a little closer. Yeah. Listen, about the language thing. No, Rada, scooch a little closer.
Oh, me. Tell me what to do.
No, because my mom has always used. She's Argentinian, and so she always says when we're acting crazy, "Esto es un quilombo." Quilombo means
Yeah, I know what
madhouse.
that is. Oh, isn't a quilombo like a big slave, like escaped slave
Exactly.
population?
So quilombo, I always
Oh, is that what
thought
that
meant
means?
like the crazy.
Yeah, it's like runaway slaves in Latin America. They would
But-
form quilombos.
I always thought it meant the crazy house, and I think it does mean the crazy house. Like, oh, is this an
But the
insane
term originally
asylum?
comes from there.
No, and there's an actual town called Quilombo. It's in the Calle 13 documentary. It's the one place in Venezuela that's actually like a village just of descended slaves. So
That's
everyone's black.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
it's called Quilombo.
I mean, quilombo
in my
sound
head,
is a Yoruba word, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't even look it up, but when I saw the Calle 13 documentary and I looked it up, I think through Lambda Sigma Epsilon, I might have. I'm like, oh, it's a black town. Oh, Argentinians are white. Oh, it's the madhouse.
Oh, racism.
Oh.
Because the Spanish word for madhouse is un asilo, not a quilombo. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and the leaders were called Tinquiloas.
So these
Deborah,
ideas
your
are
witty
deep.
response.
What? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's like, facts, nigga.
These and then you have to ruin it with that word.
I know I shouldn't use it, but I do use it. And then, one
Why?
time a comic pressed me about using it, and he had just come off stage making
Oh
these
shit. Oh.
jokes about Dominicans and how black Dominicans are, and he overheard me say the word nigga, and he was like, yo, you can't say that. I was like, first of all, you're not gonna tell me how to talk. Nobody tells me how to fucking talk. And then I explained to him how Dominicans are black, and furthermore, you can't tell me how to fucking talk. If I want to say it, I'm gonna say it.
But I don't think anyone should say that, even African Americans.
No one should say it. It's a horrible, hateful word, but I mean I grew up indoctrinated with it, didn't I?
So that doesn't mean you can't choose to speak differently.
Yeah, but
I do too, and I don't use it.
I mean, I'm trying. I don't use it as much as I used to. Obviously, I'm a grown-up. But every now and then, the shit slips. I get angry, and I talk like that. Like, you revert back to certain shit. I can't front.
My favorite moment of Nadia and Nick was like when they were together. My ex and my best friend. He's like,
He's Filipino.
yeah, he's like really gay.
Hi,
so he's
Nick.
like, do you have a fag?
To
Do you have
Nadia?
Do you have what?
To Nadia, yeah. Nadia's
Oh.
like the Puerto Rican girl from the hood. So Nick is like, do you have a fag? He wanted a cigarette.
A cigarette, yeah.
You
Is he
repeat-
British?
No,
he's
not
Filipino.
at all.
he's
He's
just
just camp.
He's very eloquent. And
Yes.
so Nadia's like, after you repeated it like 10 times, you want a cigarette, nigga? Like,
Oh my goodness.
One more.
Thank
I was his hag when I was 13.
yeah, you were. My best friend, basically got really close to Deborah when we were in high school. He came out in high school, and then my dad.
That was
My,
great.
da-
How
my
old
dad thought that me
What?
and that
How old
he
is
was
your
trying to
friend,
hit
the
on
gay
me, and
friend?
I was like,
No,
no,
he
we
was-
swing dance together.
He was close, as in they were friends.
No, I know, but how old is the friend that you're talking about
Right,
now?
we're in the same grade.
Same age.
what is that? You guys are what, 28?
30? How old
No,
So-
Sergio's 30.
So for your friend to come out in high school back then, that was brave because
Yeah, it was.
things were not as open when we were in high school. As
No,
they
but
are
he has
now.
a very supportive mother.
Well, I went to Stuyvesant. Stuyvesant's like there's almost no bullying at Stuyvesant at all because it's all the valedictorians and salutatorians.
The nerd kids.
Oh, you
from
went
all-
to that nerd high school.
That
I
nerd-
didn't
yeah.
get into.
Tell us the story.
But it reminded me of using words when you don't know what they fully mean. So, growing up, my grandmother used to say semilla a lot,
Oh, yeah.
which translates to seed,
Mm-hmm.
but vulgarly it also is pussy.
Is it?
Yes, at least for
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Caribbeans. I don't know if it applies to other places. So,
Talk
she-
louder. so
Metaphorically.
So she went through this phase where she would drop something, she would say it all the time, right? I just thought it meant seed. So I was at the babysitter's house. I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I dropped something, and I'm like, semilla, and I said it really loud. And everyone stopped and looked at me, and I obviously had no idea why. So then the lady was like, where did you hear that word? And I innocently said, like my grandmother. But I didn't understand why people were so, like, upset and shocked about this until years later, where I put 2 and 2 together. That
So our
wasn't me, I
grandmother
really
was
meant.
going around getting angry, saying "pussy" whenever she got mad.
Pretty much.
It's like, and then whenever we curse around them, because I'm 30, my sister, how old are you? Like 33.
No, shh.
She's 21 several times. And we'll curse, right? Because we're grown-ups, and she has a mouth that's just as filthy as mine. My grandma would be like, "Who taught you to speak that way?" I'm like, "Well, the old woman that went around yelling pussy whenever she got angry. That's who the fuck taught me to talk like that."
I think our mom she's very proper, so she has a few, but they're like really buttered up.
I don't know how to curse, and I don't know curse words in Spanish
Yeah.
Really?
at all
Wow.
because my mom didn't drop one.
That's nice.
And my father was very careful growing up either.
Wow.
So,
You guys are classy as fuck.
So clap.
I mean,
wonder
not
your
really,
voice
because
is
I don't know
audibly
what's
choppy,
happening.
Sergio. That's why Sergio talks like this, like he's Casey Kasem, but Latino.
You know Kasem's an Egyptian last name? That's Hazem's last name.
Isn't he
Kazem?
dead?
Isn't it Kazem?
Isn't
Yeah.
he? Isn't
He
in
dead.
Not
the-
Casey.
Right?
Not Kasem.
His voice is annoying.
Kasem,
Oh, are we pronouncing it wrong?
Shout out to Gabby Freyway,
probably.
our baby cousin.
What
He's
up, baby
watching.
cousin?
Yeah.
She just she gave the thumbs
Stop
up.
slamming the phones.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry. I'm like the one guy with headphones, so I'm like hearing everything.
So Hazem's last name is Kasem.
Yeah, well, it's spelled. Well, it's
Wait,
spelled.
Kassam.
It's spelled like 5 different ways because everything's
Kasam.
bastardized
Kasam.
a million
Kasam.
times over.
Hazem Kasem.
It's
You
hot
gotta
in
say it
here.
angry.
Yeah, shout out to Hazem. He finally posted a picture of him smiling. I'm happy he's doing well.
Yeah, Hazem.
in Kuwait.
You dick. The
He's in
last time you
Kuwait.
texted me, you
He
texted me some
po-
angry
oh,
shit.
well, I shouldn't say that out loud. He's not in the U.S. anymore.
Oh.
So
He got a-
Tatiana,
he was nice.
He got a job in Kuwait. He's doing awesome. He's happy.
To curse in
Okay.
Spanish.
That's
said
good.
that?
There's not a lot of weed out
Tatiana.
there, but
It does feel great. Tatiana, you're right. It does feel great to curse in Spanish.
I love it.
Yeah, actually, what reinvigorated my
We know fake curse words.
what is it? Punto del Obelisko.
Punto del
That sounds so
Obelisko.
corny.
Punto de qué?
Next to you guys, that sounds so corny.
It's Dominicans have like
Did he just say punto del obelisco?
Yeah.
So the
Yes,
point of
there's-
the obelisk?
There's an obelisk in Argentina. In Buenos
it's a
Aires.
dick. He said it like
I
una
understand.
ñema.
I understand,
You know
but
Dominicans-
that's such a long word.
Punto de Obelisco. ñema. That's what it is, una ñema.
She says miércoles a lot.
Yeah.
Aw. We heard that a couple times when they were trying not to say mierda.
Coles.
But they usually said mierda.
Yeah, they did.
What is lomo del
Oh.
What is lomo del esquinoto? Do you guys know? Do you know?
That
I've
means
never
like
heard of
in
that.
Bumblefuck land.
Yeah.
Casa el
But I don't know what
carajo. Casa el
Esquinoto-
carajo. Casa el
Casa
carajo.
el
Yeah.
carajo.
Yeah, we're fucking, we're
Ca-
vulgar people. Jesus.
love it.
Casa del carajo. That sounds like un quilombo right there.
Yeah, un quilombo.
I feel like an immigrant learning to curse in English. Only I'm learning to curse in my primary language.
Well, you're learning to curse in Dominican, which is very
Yeah.
different. Like, my aunt used to curse a lot. She used to say puñeta all the time, which is a Puerto Rican word. But I'm like, God damn, sometimes I get mad, and puñeta is the appropriate word.
It is.
They got it right.
Yeah.
Actually, Nick uses puñeta all the time. He's Filipino.
Yeah.
But
He
there's
likes
a
to
lot of-
adopt a lot of
There's a
different
lot of
languages.
Spanish that translates to Tagalog.
Those Spaniards, they,
Yeah.
they did a lot of raping.
Tagalog.
They did a lot of raping,
Tagalog.
those Spaniards.
Tagalog.
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 Yeah.
Clem says that black folks got everyone beat with the curse words.
Let me tell you something I learned about
And the
Clemroy,
slangs.
right? Clemroy is my sister's husband,
Ah.
right? So he's from down south,
Yes.
and he says a bunch of like southern expressions
does.
that to me are like, bro, that's hilarious.
Does he pronounce cement? That always gets me.
I don't know. Actually, I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know. I have to ask him.
But one time he got mad. He was talking about someone, and he was like retelling a story about some guy who he had to press. And so then he's like, "Yeah, man, I told this motherfucker, oh, you think you the nigga that tied the bear?"
He loves that phrase.
And I was like,
Tied the
"What
bear?
the fuck?"
Yes.
Tied the bear.
So
tied
you
the bed.
think you're so tough that you think that you're the one who grabbed the bear and like
Yeah.
subdued him and tied him
Yeah,
out.
because
That's what that
bears
means.
are tough animals, and if you can actually tie one down, then you must be the world's toughest guy.
So it's like ripping the ears off a Gundark.
What?
What?
It's a Star Wars reference.
I missed it.
Sergio, you gotta relax with the Star
Or
Wars,
if
bro.
you ask Nick, then it's a gay reference. He tied up like a big hairy dude, and
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Oh.
true. Because sometimes they'll call hairy guys bears.
he doesn't
like
actually
big
say
hairy
that. I'm
guys.
making that up.
We should text him and ask.
What are some other phrases that he has? Oh, I learned the finna to the what is it? I'm
Finna smack you or whatever, I don't know.
it's like I'm feeling to go to, and they
yeah.
I'm finna go to.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
But we can't say, like, I mean, because New York, we got our own slang.
Yeah.
I learned that word from following white girls on Twitter.
What? Finna?
Finna, yeah.
It's a
Really?
thing.
Yeah, that's just
I've
cultural
only heard
appropriation.
that said by white people up here.
Sorry.
Who are usually Southern white girls.
You
Yeah,
ever
what's
you ever
the
dated a
southern
white
thing?
girl who's like said nigga?
I don't know white people who say that.
I
No,
know I know a couple white girls that say nigga, and I've never called them out on it.
I stopped dating white girls a while ago, but if I did now, I probably would. But anyway, proceed.
Obviously.
Semilla.
So, am I the only one that's in a
I'ma light
relationship
your
on
ass
this table?
up like the 4th of July. That's
What?
one. That's
Oh
another
yeah,
one.
he always says that. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
light your ass
what?
up like the 4th of July.
Oh, I've heard that on.
Jesus
movies.
Christ, Danny! Everyone can read what you're saying, motherfucker. God damn it!
What
What's
did
he
Danny
saying?
say?
We're getting a ton of comments on the live feed. I can't read it because my laptop's like
Who
10
said
feet from
fuck
me.
Star Wars?
Tatiana, our biggest fan, said fuck Star Wars.
You fitted.
That's not right.
You
It's not right.
fitted. Suck nuts.
Tatiana's a Star Trek fan.
What?
Shut it up.
That's not a thing.
Shut it up, Danny.
There's somebody actually called Deez Nuts following us.
That's my cousin, man. That's my cousin.
Oh, it would be.
It would be someone on our side, Radhames. Come on now.
Deez
That
Nuts.
motherfucker's hilarious, though.
I love his name.
I wonder if because there was a
His Instagram name is ñema dulce, which means sweet dick.
Ñema?
I love that.
Sweet
Yeah.
dick Teharris.
Ñema is a slang word for like the head.
The head of the obelisk.
How does that
The
even?
point of the obelisk.
Yo, do you think that's what mom means when she says punto?
That's
all
what
over
she's
these-
talking about.
I bet you she doesn't.
She's talking
no,
about
no, no, no.
ñema.
She does not. I can tell you right now, she does not know that that's what.
Do you
that
know what an
means.
obelisk is? It's like because the ancient Egyptians were weirdos and
yeah.
they were into all that. Or
They're
I don't
phallic.
Know. Yeah, it's a phallic symbol.
Loud
Yes,
away
but
from
I'm
the
saying when she
microphone.
curses, she does not picture that. She's picturing the white obelisk in
Yeah.
Buenos Aires.
Our mom is really innocent.
She's
Our mom
very-
is
yes.
really innocent.
She really is. Good for her, because she,
She's a very simple woman.
it's
I
a
love
nice
her very much.
reprieve from the world when you come home.
Aw.
Our
Yes.
grandmother is actually
She curses.
tougher.
Yeah, my grandma.
Somehow.
Shit.
Really?
I mean,
I think
all of
it
them.
skips a generation.
Not
But she
Not an hour.
she was
Not
born in
an
the 1930s. It's a whole nother thing.
She played basketball.
I even
Really?
even
That's
In
even
high
Baba.
school,
I
yeah.
remember Baba saying like horrible shit all the time too.
We are a cursing family, and
Yeah,
I'm-
and then they
I'm quite
deny
proud
it.
of
Like they would say horrible shit, and I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Sí, tú tienes que decirle, "Hijo tu maldita madre." And then they'd be like, when I would pop out with some shit, like, where you heard that? I'm like, from you.
But you couldn't say that.
And then
You
they
get in
whoop
trouble.
your ass for telling the truth, but don't lie.
Well, I kind of like it because I think that it forces you to code switch. I love using
Plug.
expletives in English and Spanish as much as possible, and I also like being able to code switch and throw my eloquent language out there.
All right, guys. I'm gonna read to you what our cousin just wrote. He wrote
Which one? These nuts?
These Nuts.
Okay.
These Nuts wrote.
Did you guys come from the same pair of these nuts, or are you guys like adopted cousins?
No, that's like my cousin.
Okay.
Yeah. He
And
goes,
they wouldn't share nuts.
yo sí le doy pila de ñema a esa.
Who?
I don't know. He just says
Maybe
horrible
he
things.
just means that's like.
Well, we were talking Matt Smack, and I just noticed this.
That translates to I would give them a lot of penis.
Danny, not tonight, but tomorrow I will be a locksmith. Yes, sir. I will be there.
Wait, you actually are you performing?
No. I'm not performing. Actually, yeah, I have a show tomorrow.
Just prepare so when I ask
don't
you when
know.
your
I don't
plugs
know where.
are, you actually
It's
know.
in
What do
somewhere
you
in
do?
Williamsburg.
Wait,
Somewhere in Williamsburg.
do you do comedy?
Yeah, I'm a comedian.
Oh,
This is a
shit.
missed opportunity.
Plug your show.
I don't
Also,
know.
let me know when you go. I like stand-up.
Say it loud enough for the thing.
So I don't know where I am performing tomorrow, but I am.
You never fucking know when you're performing.
With you.
Yo, okay, I'm not running
Check
my
your
own show
emails.
anymore. So like sometimes my friends who are in comedy
I
are like,
can't
I
laugh
can
without
plug you
coughing.
into this show, and then I just go. But I don't rely on that. You know.
You do perform a lot, so
You're
I
not
understand.
even in the.
No, I do perform a lot. I'm trying to get. Yo, comedy keeps me sane, yo. Comedy keeps me sane. Like sometimes I get
I'm stuck
dudes
behind this book.
in my face who. Yo, all right. So there's this coalition of dudes right now in my shelter who want to
down.
fight me because apparently I act tough.
Closer.
Closer? Oh, I thought you said further.
You act tough in the shelter.
That's what they say, but I don't. Really, what it is I wear size medium shirts, and they're just mad that I look amazing in it, and they question their own sexuality, and that's fine. That was the point. That
always
was the
throws
point,
people
sir.
off.
You would like our cousins that are getting married in Cancun. They're our cousins. Our cousin and her our soon to be cousin-in-law.
I was gonna leave.
They
it
are
there.
both airplane
Don't worry, I don't forget
mechanics.
it. I just can't reach it.
They're both
They're both airplane mechanics.
and they're swole. They're
Oh,
swole
that's
mates.
so interesting.
My new
Airplane
cousin
mechanic.
is a beautiful 6 foot tall Colombian woman
Wow.
who looks like a model but can
we
fix
don't
an
have
airplane.
that in our family.
Nah,
Everyone
no one in our.
our
No. That's not true because we have our other cousins who are fucking tall. It's just you never met them.
Oh, okay.
Like, and they're like our younger cousins
But
too.
they're not very. We don't have a lot of tall people in our family.
No, just they're the tall breed.
My husband is 6'2" and he towers over
Can
my
you
family.
or whoever?
Yeah, who's got the wine? Yo, but speaking of Colombians, watching Narcos got me back into cursing in Spanish.
Why do you keep wanting to talk about Narcos?
Because I actually so
What
you know
is that?
It's a show on Netflix.
what is not anyway.
Don't
Let's
yell at her.
let me tell you
I'm
something
sorry
about
that I
this
know what Narcos
this
is.
hilarious Colombian story that I may or may not have told.
It's a
once
fairly
upon a time.
problematic show, but it's enjoyable. But go ahead, Radhames.
All right, so you already know dialects in Spanish.
I need to
Different
cough
words mean different things. And Cinthia, can you please pour me some wine?
Yes.
Yes, I will
Um,
pass
So I
shit.
had this guitar teacher, and I was leaving his house.
Oh my god, wait, no.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Hi, Tia.
Hi, Tia.
My Tia Tanya is watching this, so
Oh.
censored.
Deborah.
Don't
She
worry.
wrote it angry
Deborah.
too. Deborah.
No, this is fine because it distracts their attention from the other episodes of Codeswitchin.
Okay, yeah. There are some really bad ones out there, but so anyway, what happened was yo, I'm a holla boy, about to bag.
Tell the freaking story, Radhames. You're so
Nah, I was reading what our cousin wrote.
You were reading what Deez Nuts
Yo,
wrote
I'm a
on
holla
Southern
boy.
Slang.
I'm about to bag these queen stats. You heard? I feel you. You
I've
show them,
never-
sweet dick.
I've never dated
Sweet
a girl
dick
from
tea?
Queens.
Huh?
I've never dated a girl from Queens.
Well,
You're stupid.
I don't really have like a borough
Queen's girl.
No,
the
I'm
barrier
not.
best.
thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I was saying was I was coming home from my guitar teacher's crib, and he needed a ride somewhere. So I was driving him, and this is way before the cell phones had GPS. So I had my own little GPS thing that you bought me for Christmas. And I'm driving around. I put the thing in there. Cowboys suck. And
Oh my god, did you see that?
yeah.
Oh
Is
my
that
god.
sports related?
So like
Comments.
I'm driving him to the laundromat, and then his wife, she goes, "Me gustó mucho tu bicho," and she points to the thing.
What's a beach? What?
Oh,
For us, that's a penis.
wait, let me finish the
What?
story, right? And so then I look at the husband immediately, and then he goes, "Yeah, she liked your bicho." And then she gets out of the car, and I start rolling because to Colombians, bicho means anything small. So a bicho could be anything. Like this is a bicho, that's a bicho. It's like a thing,
Oh, like a small.
like a small thing, something small. But
so what was she
to
talking
I just
Puerto
thought of two
Ricans
stories.
and Dominicans, who we deal so much with Puerto Ricans, right? A bicho is a dick. So you be like, "Mama bicho," that means you are a penis sucker. but like a bad word for penis, like so a cock or a dick.
Yeah.
You're a dick sucker. That's a bicho. And that's my story about
Well,
but
I
what was
have
she
one
talking
that's
about? Your
not-
car?
I
What was she
got
referring
two.
to,
So
Rada?
after
Yeah,
you,
what
I
was she
gotta-
referring to?
she was referring to the GPS that was on the window.
Oh.
She wasn't referring to my dick. That would have been amazing. Like, hey.
I'm sure she wasn't referring to your penis.
But I was like, when she said it, I was like,
You're like about to
I
get
looked
your
at her
ass
husband
kicked.
like, oh man, like he teaches me guitar for like pretty cheap. Like, what the fuck? Talk about my dick when he's not looking.
Yo, so there's two. Oh my god, I just lost them. So one is dead ass, and the other is Yo, so when I was on the fast food campaign, most of the staff were like black people from Brooklyn or Dominicans from Brooklyn, but our supervising organizer was a Chicana chick from Texas. So we were talking at our thing one day, and we're like, yeah, you know, this worker at this McDonald's, her something happened. Like her manager's like, you know, like hitting on her like inappropriately, and it turns out all this is all happening with all the workers at this McDonald's. And she said that, and somebody in our little circle was like, "Yo, dead ass," and someone is like, "Yeah, dead ass," and I probably said dead ass at that point, and our supervisor from Texas was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I had to explain to her what dead ass meant.
Dead ass
Oh,
means
yeah.
like, yo, like
I didn't know that.
I'm dead ass. Like I'm serious.
I didn't know
like,
that.
and I used it so much, and it didn't. No one ever called me out for saying dead ass until I got to college. Like when I was an interest in.
Because mad people go to Binghamton from like upstate, and they have more in common with like people from Boston.
What do you mean dead ass? Your ass is dead? Like yeah, but
It's pretty self-explanatory.
you say dead ass
I
all the
feel
time.
I didn't know it was a New York thing until someone told me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't
I was
either. Or
like,
how
oh.
about I thought that lambus was a real word.
Yeah.
for
Did you guys
years.
not know that lambus is not? Well,
The
you guys.
fuck- the
fuck
Greek
is
word?
a lambus?
Okay,
So
so
we'd be
maybe
like-
it's like a Washington Heights thing.
It's
so
like a-
it comes from the word
Yeah.
lambong, which is a Dominican slang word for like a butt kisser or mooch.
No.
Better.
Yeah, mooch.
And so it got the English version of that already corrupted word was
Lambus.
lambus. So growing up,
And-
I dead ass thought, and there I use the word dead ass, that that lambus was a word.
And we have like adjectives and verbs for lambus. Like this dude was over here lambensating. And I would understand, like, yo, my college roommate would be like, yo, this motherfucker over here is over here lambensating. My college roommate is like, yeah, like he's the biggest lambensator I've ever met in my life. Like I'm like, yeah, man. he's-
Should that be the
And we're thinking we're here over here dropping big ass college words, and then one day like someone was like, "Yo, y'all know like lambus ain't no what?" I swore because it was an IS at the end of it that it was like a real thing.
Like it was rooted in Latin or
yeah,
something?
like it was rooted in Latin, and like anybody who didn't know about lambus was just like not a well-read person. That's all that you were. Like you were just an asshole.
Do you remember reading Lambus?
I don't
we find
ever.
lambus
I don't really
in-
read books. I don't really read books.
That
like
sounds
that.
like
That was more her
that
thing.
sounds like a maintenance company.
I
or
never
something.
saw it.
like Loomis or something.
You're fucking
Lambus
sick.
Incorporated.
No, I heard it in Harry
Lambensating for
Potter.
your future.
That should be this episode should be called Lambensating.
Lambensating.
Code switching.
Lambensating sisters. Let's do that.
No, that
we are
sounds
not
dirty.
lambensating sisters.
Lambanciando.
What does
No.
what does lambensating mean?
Like lambus, it just means lambensating
It
means
means
that you
you're-
Is that
are
the
You're-
verb
you
of
kiss
mooching.
ass.
lambus?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Is
like
that the verb of lambus?
that. Yeah, like a verb, like an active verb, not like a soft
Wait.
verb.
So
Code switching, lambensating, same shit.
to lamb to lamb.
You can't just be lambiando,
Piano.
lambiando out there.
How
That was
about-
actually the curse word that I think my mom most strongly used intentionally. Was this year finally? She was watching Chris Christie on TV after.
Oh
I
yeah,
hate that
she
guy.
yeah
He's
she
so
hates
fat.
Chris Christie.
After he endorsed Donald Trump, and
She
she
calls
said,
him-
"Say it,
No, I don't remember what she said.
chupa media."
Yeah, she,
Chupa
oh, she
media,
has chupa
yeah.
media, but that's still like
It's still so
nice.
soft.
it's still so
No, I've
soft.
heard that
It's a-
expression.
He's a
chupa
sock
media.
sucker.
Yeah, they suck a sock. They suck a sock.
Chupa media, right? So
Yeah.
you know what a Dominican would say? Lambón.
Yeah,
Que
it's a
lambón.
man.
Oh, now I remember when my first job that I used mostly Spanish in
Ciao, tia.
was I worked for a Spanish elected official in Corona, and I didn't know what vaina meant. So I had to ask like the dude, like, what does vaina mean?
Doesn't that just mean over there?
Well, vaina means
Vaina is prieto to like.
Vaina is a vine. That is what it actually means. It's a vine.
Vaina.
However, colloquially,
vaina is
anything. It's almost like a dam, but it's like I can use that almost the way Colombians use bicho. Like I can tell you, hand me that vaina over there. It's like that thing.
Yeah,
that's how I know.
But it's a little bit of like it's not a curse word per se, but it's definitely not a word that you would want. Like, the same way we wouldn't want a kid to stay down.
That's the way he described it. Oh, it means, this shit over here, that shit over there.
It's because, Spanish is still a very proper language, and it's just like a low-class way of saying things.
Yeah.
But it's not really a curse per se. Like, they won't censor it out on TV.
I'm going to take a break.
Yeah,
but I don't think we're the only ones that use it. I think other Latin Americans.
Venezuelans tend to talk a lot like Dominican. Like a lot. I have a hard time sometimes distinguishing between the two.
Oh.
Really?
The other thing as a kid, I didn't know that it was trick or treat. I thought it was trico-tri.
Yeah, trico-tri.
Trico-tri. For years, I thought it was trico-tri.
Yo, you know why? Because we...
Freaking Dominicans.
We grew up... We had to learn English, right?
We did. We learned it in preschool.
And
and
I remember I remember like learning, like, you remember one time you can testify to this because I tell people this and they don't believe me. Do you remember when Nina was working in Harlem Hospital and she brought home the Color Purple?
Yes.
Because
I have no idea what the hell that movie was
her
about.
friend told her that this is the funniest movie she's ever seen. That it was a comedy. So my aunt pops in the fucking Color Purple as a comedy. And we're sitting there. We
didn't understand what it was about.
We don't really know English. And we're like, what the fuck is going on here? To this day, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do you think that was someone just fucking with Nina?
No, I think that... I've never seen the movie. Maybe the movie has humorous aspects, but you definitely have to be able to...
I remember...
To know
I don't remember a lot. I remember the ass whippings and rape. And I was like a kid when I saw that shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember
we were
anything...
also very young. I mean,
yeah, but we also didn't... I don't remember, like, knowing English too well at that point.
Probably, like... I was probably, like, 9 or 10. You were like 6 or 7. So,
I don't remember.
There's a mixture of not just the language.
No,
but
I
the
wasn't
content
7 because at 7 I was in 2nd grade, and by then I was like, I knew English.
You've been corrupted.
So maybe kindergarten. Well, you were young.
I was young, but I remember like seeing the Color Purple and not knowing English, but being like, "What the fuck is happening?"
So, speaking of languages and movies, I'll retell this when Deborah gets in here. But one time we were all sitting around, me, her, my grandmother, our parents, our uncles, and we watched the movie Babel with Brad Pitt.
Babel.
Did you ever see that? Babel,
Yeah.
whatever. Exactly.
Haven't seen it or heard of it.
I know what it is.
So it's a movie that's like, it's basically like Crash. It's like it takes place
Where he gets his head cut off at the end.
No,
you're thinking about 7 Signs or 7 Deadly Sins.
No, that's 7
like
where his wife gets his head.
Yeah, totally different movie.
But doesn't he get beheaded?
No,
at the end of Babel, when
Babel's
he's like
from
a
the
news reporter
2000s.
and
No. It's basically a story in the Middle East, a story in Japan, a story in Mexico, and I think another one. So it's in Arabic, Japanese, and Spanish, and a little English. But we got a bootleg copy because we're Latino.
Of course. Why would we pay for anything?
I'm telling the story about how we watched Babel at Theodani's house with Abuela.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Oh.
And so basically, we watched it without subtitles.
That was my fault,
so
and I deeply regret it.
And so we basically thought, I
Battery
know,
low.
we got 5 minutes, which is good because we got to wrap
I
up.
was gonna promote this on Instagram.
Do it.
They can't see us. So
They can go to the Facebook page. So
yeah, and they'll be able to watch it.
So we were watching Babel, and we thought, oh, the movie is like, there's no subtitles. So you're just supposed to kind of experience what they're saying without actually listening to it. Oh, wow, we're shut off live. Either way, we're still not recording on iTunes. Unless you want to go live from the Facebook page.
I mean, my phone is at 15.
Anyway,
too,
so Deborah, plug in my phone real quick. So we were watching it and like, oh, you're supposed to not really know. Just take it out the thing. We don't know what they're saying. Blah blah blah. It's amazing. You gotta guess. It's like a silent film. But no, we just had a bootleg version without fucking like subtitles. We were just like being really weird. Yeah, just plug it in and put it on the floor. But yeah, anybody got any other stories before we wrap up?
No.
I got one more story.
We had a bootleg version.
Yeah, we had the bootleg version.
No,
of
we
Babel.
rented it on TV, and I suggested that we watch it without subtitles so that we could watch it artistically the way it's
That
meant
was
to
your
be watched.
fault?
Yes, and it was the worst decision I ever made
That's
because it was
that, you know
so
what? You know
fucking
what?
uncomfortable.
That is something Sergio's
watch.
sister would say. Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys are
that's
definitely related.
That's something That's
you would
something
do that. You would do that kind of shit.
I would
Serge.
say that, and then I probably did think about saying that. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna put them through this.
I didn't know what was gonna happen.
You know, I kind of hate. And this is terrible. I don't know if you agree.
Just go live during the plugs, so we can just do
Okay.
2 minutes live. We gotta wrap up.
All right, I hate subtitled movies.
I love
Yeah.
subtitled movies.
I can't watch anything.
I
without
hate
subtitles.
subtitled movies
I'll
because
do it while you're talking.
there's too much action, and I'm like, I can't read this fast.
I can't.
I can attest to that.
I can't.
What? I can only
No,
watch
that
TV
Radhames can't read
if
this.
it is like
Joke.
subtitled.
I need the subtitles now. It
Yeah.
keeps me focused and paying attention to what's going on.
I keep the subtitles on now.
Also,
Yeah.
if someone's
Line now.
whispering, you can actually
I don't know how to
understand, like know what
fucking
they're
do
saying.
this. No, vertically. Put it vertically.
You can pull it as much as you want. Just don't put it upside down, which I bet you will.
No, it's not upside down. It's
I'm gonna
perfect.
say something terrible about the word vertical and horizontal.
Oh shit! Does it?
Oh, God,
Does
it has to do with
You gotta
sex.
You gotta tilt it.
Is it a bad word for black people like everything else
shit.
is? It's fine.
Okay, we're good.
I say that like as if it were my phone. It's fine.
It's an Android.
Just
It'll
twist
live.
it like
No, because now
like
you're
that.
not gonna be in there.
Yeah, just get in. Come on.
There you go. There you go.
No.
Perfect.
Tatiana,
Yeah, now she's gonna be in it.
Tatiana, can you share this just so people can get the plugs?
All right, so this is how I was able to tell the and then this is fucked up, and I don't feel this way no more, you know, because
Anymore.
because shut up, don't tell me how to talk, son.
Speak louder for
Dead
that.
ass, lambón. Don't. No, I'm just kidding.
Punto del Obelisco.
Yo, I'm gonna say that to somebody.
Me too.
Yo, I
Like,
want.
you talking
I
about
want
the
you,
tip of my dick?
I want you to see el punto de mi obelisco.
Ew, Radhames, why you're
Go
so
on the
gross?
Codeswitchin page.
And then
That's
you gotta,
a good point.
and then you gotta say it like this. You
I'm
gotta
not on Facebook.
at the end of it, you gotta say
Sorry, I don't know why I yelled that into the
sound
microphone.
and flavor.
Why you have to be so dirty?
Sound and flavor.
Say it loud for Tatiana.
Sound and flavor punta de Obelisco. Anyway,
Obelisco.
Get to
That-
your point.
Obelisco is
That
mismo.
should be the
What was I
title-
saying?
that
I don't
should
even
be
I
the
don't
title of the
fucking know. I
episode.
was trying to
You were talking.
Oh
about-
yeah, but how I can tell the difference between horizontal and vertical. Okay, so I was a third grader when I learned this, and like we had a math test, and it was like horizontal, vertical, and I kept failing, and then my friend was like, "No, man, you know how you tell the difference?" And I was like, "How?" He was like, "Whores lie on their back.
Oh my God! In third grade.
That's why it's horizontal."
Wait, and proper women have sex standing up.
I
What's the
guess
logic
so.
behind
I
that?
guess so.
Did you not hear the third grade part?
Well, like regular
That's the
women
third
only
grade
have
part.
sex with people with big dicks,
I went
and
to
people
Catholic
with
school.
standing
Like
up,
it's
what?
regular women have vertical sex. I guess I don't know.
Wait, what are we talking
Dude,
about?
oh my
I
god!
don't know
was thinking
anymore.
This
about
is,
What are
no.
we
Listen, my
talking
friend.
about?
This is how I tell the difference. This is how I learned to tell the difference
This
between
is so fucking
horizontal and
dirty.
vertical. Right? I was in the third grade, and I don't remember. I think it was Ramon Amonte. I don't remember.
Why do
but
you have to give his full government
whatever.
name?
He's like fat and a drug dealer now, and so like my.
Edit that shit out, please.
My friend, whatever, was like, "Hey, you know,
Yo.
like, because I kept failing the math test." He was like, "Yo, man, like, it's easy to tell the difference between horizontal and vertical." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Whores lie on their back."
Oh, because HOR. Okay.
And you know, vertical is just whatever the fuck the other thing is. And I
V
was
for
like,
virgin, as in the opposite
right,
of
you
whore.
right as fuck. And I never forgot.
Yo,
Whatever,
people-
whatever works, I guess.
people
This
don't-
is a pro sex worker taping.
As
by
if
the
people
way.
don't know that.
No, it is
from-
a pro sex worker taping. I'm
Listen,
just saying. My
no one
friend
can
said
ever
that
doubt
whores
that
lie on
after
their.
the last
Do
episode.
whores not lie on their back?
Everyone lies on their back at some point.
But also, so do whores.
Even the guys.
Oh my God, just be quiet.
Yo, nobody
Porters.
nobody gives credit
joke.
to kids for being so dirty. So I'm not gonna take responsibility.
They're
for-
really creative.
I'm not gonna
They
take
are.
responsibility for what I'm about to say because somebody
Take
else said it.
responsibility.
But in 5th grade, we were going around saying, "Yo, if I could have a wish to be reincarnated, I would transform. I would transform into this. I would transform into that." And this Colombian chick that we used to sit with, she was like, "Yo, if I could transform into anything, I would transform into a boy's toilet."
A boy's.
And I was
toilet.
thinking about that
my
the other
fucking
day.
God,
And I'm
what
like,
a nasty bitch.
Yo, she was
Forget-
11. 10.
Okay, Marquis de Sade.
Oh, she was the chick in
Jeez.
the R. Kelly video.
Maybe.
What are we naming this?
But you know what?
was the
We are
word?
not.
Lambensading.
Lambensading.
Just say code switching end of episode.
You know what though? Like,
Watch this go another
where
hour.
we
or some
shouldn't.
shit.
I'm hungry.
If people like to get peed on, that's okay. Whatever tickles your pickle, as long as
Thank
it's consenting
you.
adults.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
She's a
one
master's.
time, this girl.
Oh yeah, I am.
Or a
one-
mistress. student,
One time,
apparently.
this girl asked me to pee on her, and I was fucking mortified.
So
Mortified.
Well, I mean, that's not something that you're
And she
into.
was like, why wouldn't, she was like mad that I wouldn't. She's like, yo, like, let's just try it. We'll go in the bathtub. And I was like, yo, you are a nasty bitch.
Don't
Yo.
say
Don't
that. That's
No,
so
say
judgmental.
it was judgmental. Like, I'm not going to the bathroom on you. You're a person. Like, what's wrong with you? That's not for the bedroom, you sick fuck. Oh my god.
Yo, I hooked up with somebody once.
That's
and,
kind of respectful.
I guess, right?
Yo, I hooked up with somebody once, and
Oh God.
So she told me years later. Yo, I didn't tell because I put it together like, wait, your son's how old? Wait a second, I met you. She's like, yeah, I was pregnant. I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to freak you out. And I'm like, I could have had milk. And you didn't tell me?
Wait.
Oh, gross.
Yo,
so fucking
I'm not
disgusting.
even mad at that,
And
man.
she's
I'm
like-
not even mad at that,
She
sir.
was like, if I knew how freaky you were, I would have told you. But I thought,
Oh my god.
all right, look,
Really?
look. Oh,
Your
so that's
sisters
gross.
are here.
I'm
So
so
that's
mad.
gross. But me refusing to pee on a girl, y'all were like, no, oh my god, you're so just.
No, it's just that you called her. You called her a whore or some
I didn't
shit.
call her a whore. I
He
called her a
called her-
sick bitch. I called her. She wanted to be a human toilet. That shit is not okay. You gotta ask questions first.
Why you
you
so-
call her a person.
You gotta ask
I'm like, yo,
questions.
she's like, yo, she was saying mad dirty shit to like incite me to piss on her. And I was like, yo, that's like, I was getting skeeved out. I'm like, look, I'm into a lot of nasty shit.
Consent.
I don't make.
That's what's
Consent
important.
is
He
important.
did
Yeah,
not
I
want.
felt
You did
raped.
not want.
I felt like
Okay, don't say.
violated.
Don't
Don't use the
All right,
word
I
rape.
won't say
Exagerado.
like raped. All right, I was being dramatic.
Yes. But you felt
I actually
violated,
did-
which is fine.
felt
I
violent.
think
She was
that-
violating my delicate sensibilities.
I
like-
think everyone needs to make sure that whenever you settle down with someone, they're as kinky as you are. Whether that is whether you like to do a vanilla 24/7, or you like to mix it up, or you on some like 50 Grades of Shade shit.
Now you
just
could
need
spit
somebody
and
to
shit
match
like that,
you.
but like
Fuck that
fucking
book.
pissing.
/ movie.
Ugh.
I know that movie was fucking terrible.
I didn't see it. It's
I didn't
like,
see it either.
I saw
I looked
some
up the
bootleg
sex
version
scenes and
like
they
the
were
first
terrible.
15 minutes, and I was like, this is bullshit. I tried really hard to read the book only because I paid for it on I got it on I think my Nook or my Kindle.
Nerd.
And I got to page 12 and I was
Nerd.
just like, I don't, the writing is terrible. This was written by like a 5-year-old.
That bitch wrote it on a BlackBerry, son.
It was terrible.
She did.
Well, it's
She
easier
was
to
writing
type on
every
that
day,
than
like,
an
oh
Android.
yeah. And there's like a part where she talks about like,
Well, it's a Twilight fan fiction.
That's how it
That's
started
how it
off.
is.
it's not.
But it clearly
Okay,
this
ooh.
is written and written by somebody who has never had real pleasurable
A
sex.
BDSM like relationship.
Yeah,
so
like, that's-
they're imagining of what
I
it
used to do
is.
this
Yes.
bit on 50 Shades of Grey, right? And it's about
Pass
how
me a
like
little more,
in the book,
They got it.
he takes her out on a helicopter ride the first time around, and poured me some too.
So he's
He's
Bill Burr.
abducting
He's
her.
a fucking abuser.
He takes her out on a helicopter ride
He
the
is.
first time around as her first date. And, you know, like there was one time, I swear, I really had a girl. I was out on a date with her, and she was like, oh, I was just hoping that you would have taken me out on a helicopter date like Mr. Gray or whatever the fuck his name is.
You really had someone say that
Yeah,
to you?
I've had
Dead ass?
I had one time, the weirdest, one time this girl on a date asked me, so how'd your mom die? And I was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck asks questions
That's
like
some
that?
Patrice O'Neal level
Like
shit.
2 minutes into the date, like, hey, so, you know, how'd your mom die? And I was Jesus. Like, so of course I made it awkward for her. But that's another story. Anyway, so,
That sounds
she's like, oh
pee.
yeah,
Right.
she was like,
You
I was
should
just,
hear it here.
I was hoping you'd surprise me with a helicopter ride. I took her to this place where, you know,
Well, you took her on the heli. I
no,
wasn't
I
even
just
paying
took it.
attention.
I just took it to this like random bar that serves like pizza and beer and shit like that, but like for like a really economical price. And she was like, "Oh, I was just hoping that you would have taken me on a helicopter ride," and like, you know,
Maybe she was just trying to be funny.
she wasn't. She meant it.
Oh my goodness.
She straight up meant
Well,
it.
you dropped her, right?
And like, but in my I did afterwards. But like in my mind,
Like King Leonidas in Sparta kicking the Persian king off.
I kicked her in the chest. Oh, like this is a respectable person. I kicked her. Like, I will not piss on you because you are a anyway. But
So stupid.
yo, she was like, "Oh, I was just hoping it was like a helicopter ride. It would have been sweet, whatever." And I was like,
What kind
I
of
used to
entitled
date.
fucking
I
person
had
is
like
she?
when I was with my ex, I was gonna take her on a tour of New York. I was about to say America, but I mean, I was about to take her to like a helicopter tour. That shit is
Quilombo
400 and I think after taxes, $420 or $28
For like
I
an
thought it was
hour.
$50.
no, it is not. It is
To
not.
take a tour of America?
America.
You cannot take a helicopter tour of New York City for $50.
Jill did that.
You
For
can't even take a
$50?
$50 cab
No,
ride.
I don't know how much.
I don't know
they
why I thought it was $50. I swore all this time that shit
Yo,
was $50.
on some real shit, even like that is not first date shit. Like, yo, I don't know you that well to fucking. Oh, let's go. I want to avoid conversation. Let's go a million feet in the air and like, no, absolutely not. Like, I'm like, let's go to a bar somewhere chill. I'm paying for this shit anyway. Like, what do you do for a living?
Oh, I don't miss dating.
You know what she said?
Radhames, I feel like you're about to say something terrible.
I work at Target. But you want a helicopter ride? Get the fuck out of here. If I took her out to go get a fucking McGriddle, she should be happy. Shut the fuck up. So I make so much more than you, and you want a
Radhames.
helicopter ride? Who do you
You're
think
mad
you
loud.
are?
See?
We didn't even have a topic. I didn't even know I was supposed to speak today.
No, we didn't
Well,
have a
you
topic.
did.
Like we
I
were
did
just
not.
talking some shit.
I showed up with a
So-
latte and I sat down.
Any last stories before we
And then I was handed a
wrap up
microphone.
and go drink coquito?
I wish
This is the most Spanish episode.
I
think
you know
so far.
honestly I wish I had
Really?
remained a Toys R Us kid because adulthood fucking sucks.
I think
I'm wearing a
adulthood is
pink.
great.
I'm wearing a pink shirt because I wanted to appear professional. I mean, I look fly as fucking it,
Chappy chupacabra.
but you know,
You're just rambling.
I am. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about your fucking homework? Shut up, motherfucker. Tell me.
Well, I actually finished my first semester of grad school.
Hey,
I'm still better
congrats.
than you. I still have a master's.
Shut up, stupid.
Shout out to educated Latina and women of color.
Working on it.
Yeah.
Hotiness.
I'm really glad that you guys invited me here. This is interesting and it's
Yeah,
a
I'm
lot
glad
of
you're
fun.
here.
I hope I can come back again. I would be interested in talking more about sex and relationships since that seems
You
be the
can't
place
ask me
that we
shit
go
like
to.
that
You talked about peeing on someone.
on
Yeah, you
the
did.
camera.
Wait, not peeing on someone.
Raise it for Tatiana.
Well, because I'm
whoever else is
respectable. That's why I don't.
speaking. Probably me.
I just pee on people. That's just ridiculous.
let's see. What did we talk? We talked
You ever
about a
peed
lot
on
of
anybody?
things. No. No.
Would you?
Yeah. If that, I mean.
Amen.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you
Why
fucking
not?
would.
That's the only thing I could think to say to.
But
No, I can think of a lot of things to say.
I mean,
to
that's not
Wait.
something that I like.
Piss on me right now.
That's not something.
I
That's
like.
not
I like how you thought about whether you did it or not.
I mean,
Normally that's the guy who's like, I think she squirted, or was it pee? And the girl knows, but you're like, was it this or was it that? I see that master's degree doesn't teach you everything about yourself, does it?
no, it does not. Sometimes you have to stop and think about it.
What's that piss?
I have a very liberated sense of sexuality. I definitely think that the best sex you can ever have is in
Butt?
the context, not in the butt, but if that's your thing, but it's in the context of a loving relationship. Because I feel like you are
Nope.
free. Shut up. You are free to express yourself, and there are no restrictions. And I think that sex was meant to be had in the
In
context
love.
of
Yeah,
a loving
that's true.
relationship. However, I do think that everyone should have the opportunity, if that's your thing, to sow your oats and not feel any shame in what you like. So if I was into peeing on people and people peeing on me, like that, whatever, like that's fine.
I
But
didn't handle that situation wrong, did I?
no, that's not your thing.
By screaming at the girl? No.
I didn't scream at her, but she kept insisting. She's like, "We can do it in the tub." I was like, "No, you fucking."
Bert Kreischer,
Person.
speaking of comedy, had a great line in his new special that
I'm
came
gonna
out.
start timing this because we have 10 minutes
yeah,
left to
that's
true.
get
He's
out of
like
here.
talking about sex with his wife and trying to get her to be nasty. He's like, for 5 minutes, can you be a whore, not the woman I co-own a house with? Like,
Well, I do think it's also. I mean, I've been with my husband and I only made a year married, but we've been
Countdown,
together for
3
6
minutes.
years, and I do think that. Even though we haven't been together for, 10, 15, 20 years, I do think that keeping things lively and spicy is important. But what that means is different for every couple,
Yeah.
Because what I may think is sexy might be boring for someone else and vice versa. But I do think you have the best sex when you have communication and a foundation of love. But in the meantime, sow your oats and fuck everybody and their mama. Just wrap it up every single time, and don't have sex in order to fill a void.
And long-term birth control.
Yes, do all of that. But
Both,
don't have sex to
ladies,
fill a void.
not just one.
That's where people get hurt and they get caught up in these bullshit games.
What?
When you have sex to fill a void. If you have sex because you're horny and you trying to fulfill like an animalistic need.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
But,
because you can do that and hide it, but then at one point it hits you that you're filling a void.
Yeah.
Like metaphorically, not literally.
And both
it's
men
a
and
shitty
women do
feeling.
that.
Everyone is feeling.
But we can do a whole new podcast on that. I would actually
We should. You
love
should come back.
to do
I would
that.
love to do that podcast.
Let's do it.
And
Not now, later.
That should be the next. Well, not the next topic. It's up to you guys.
Soon,
but whenever
soon.
you guys do it, I would totally be down
Minute and a
to
half.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
we're filling up the next couple weeks of our schedule, so you're welcome. We gotta do this. This is a very popular episode just from the live feed, but we should go into plugs. Deborah, think of what you're gonna plug. Radhames, think of what you're gonna plug. I know it takes you guys a while. Cinthia, think about what you're gonna plug, because we didn't prepare this ahead of time. I'm gonna plug first the podcast social media, guys. If you want more hard-hitting journalistic podcasts like this, hit us up. We're if you're listening to this on the iTunes, then you know about the iTunes Codeswitchin podcast. If you're listening to this live on Facebook, then you know about our Facebook page, facebook.com/Codeswitchin. We're also on Twitter as @Codeswitchin and on Tumblr at thecodeswitchinpodcast.tumblr.com. I'm your co-host, Sergio Tupac Uzurin. I'm at sergio-uzurin.squarespace.com. But you can find me on Twitter at People's History or on Instagram as Native NY Video. I do video and photography. I did a whole Facebook Live video about our other endeavors, which we should announce. You want to announce them now?
Minute.
You can do that.
Yeah, so we got 60 seconds left. The podcast, which is this, my freelancing, which is that. Me and Radhames both wrote scripts that we're turning into TV shows.
We did.
So in 2017, we anticipate your support in the form of commenting and sharing on the social media. We're here for you guys, so we want there to be lively discussion that you can't have anywhere else. That's what Codeswitchin is all about. So have that. We are going to have a donate page soon so you can donate to the podcast, and we are going to have crowdfunding campaigns for Young Funny, which is Radhames' comedy pilot, and Turnout, which is Sergio's 1 hour drama. But yeah, Radhames, you got some shows coming up?
All right, so tomorrow I have some shows coming up. I'm doing 2 shows. I just got text about it right now.
And go for the next 2 weeks because I don't know when this episode comes out on iTunes. Go through the new year.
So that's the thing, guys. I don't really know where any of these shows are. Currently, I'm not running my own shows. I will be producing my own shows soon, and you guys can come and check me out then, and I will bring up all the funny comedians that I know, but I'm not there yet. I'm still working it out with the venue. So just know that I'm out there working, and hopefully you'll catch me. If you do, great. If not, then...
So they should follow you on social media.
Follow me on social media because I post all that shit as it's happening.
What is your
I'm gonna
social
plug
media?
My
as
social
well.
media, you can follow me
I'm gonna
at
plug you as well.
BadmanRad on Instagram, and you can follow me on Twitter at BadmanRad.
You got it.
Unless you follow me on Facebook, I will not give you my Facebook because I got in trouble at work for that. So because of snitchas.
And I would
Wait. I'm not done. I'm
We
not
got
done.
Less than 6 minutes left to be out of here.
Yeah,
No.
you're about to die.
We'll get out of there. Young Funny is coming soon. Pay attention for that, and stay black, fight the power. Go.
So, I would like to plug in the cartoon show that my husband and I are working on. It's
shit.
called Kid Big. You can find us on Instagram at KidBig_official. It's a very interesting cartoon, and it's something that has not been done before.
Beautifully drawn, amazingly written.
Yeah, and because a lot of the stuff that's out now, it's a remake of the things we grew up with, and this has a very interesting storyline. So follow us on Facebook at kidbig_official.
Perfect. And I don't have a project going on, so I'm going to plug my boyfriend's bar, McLaughlin's in Astoria. 3106 Broadway, your favorite Puerto Rican Italian bartender, Joe Lopez, will be serving you. And that is the end.
Nice. And that bar has been open for how many years?
I don't know, like 40 or 50 years.
Well, that was all the plugs, actually. So.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah, guys, subscribe, leave comments. We'll be back in our next couple of guests are really awesome. I don't want to commit to when they are because we changed the date for this like 10 times, but we'll have a couple episodes within the first week of the new year. We might have one next week. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in.
Adios.
Yeah.